Welcome to Agoracom Small Cap Breaking News. You know us, your daily go-to source for the best small cap headlines. For over 65 million investors since 2007. And folks, buckle up because we've got some red-hot, fresh-off-the-wire releases for you today. I'm talking companies making waves in gold, silver, and even the industrial tech space, all within the last 10 minutes. Seriously.
Yeah, it's amazing how much can change in just minutes, on the small cap scene. It really is a whirlwind of activity out there. And, for investors who are really paying attention, the rewards can be, well, huge.
Absolutely. So let's kick things off with TOC. Tocvan Ventures Corp, trading on the CSE as TOC. Now hold on your hats, folks, because TOC just dropped news of some seriously impressive drilling results from their Pilar Gold and Silver Project, and that's in Sonora, Mexico. TOC is quoting, get this, high-grade gold and silver values. And they're not kidding.
No, they're not. This is big news. And especially when you consider, El Pilar's location. It's in a region that's known for its mineral potential.
Exactly. And TOC's press release is just packed with numbers. Numbers that are going to have investors scrambling. You're reporting 83.5 meters, averaging 1.3 grams of gold per ton, including a highlight intercept of 60.6 grams of gold per ton, over 1.6 meters. I mean, we're talking serious gold grades here. What are your initial thoughts on these findings?
Well, for me, these results really point to the potential for a high-value deposit at El Pilar. And it's not just about the grade, right? It's also about the potential size. And remember, TOC is still actively exploring, so there's a lot more to be uncovered.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, this news from TOC is definitely sending shockwaves through the small-cap world. Now let's jump over to a completely different sector, shall we? Clean technology. PyroGenesis Inc., listed on the TSX under PYR, just announced a groundbreaking partnership with none other than GE Vernova and their target to electrify those notoriously dirty industries like aluminum and steel production. Talk about being on the right side of history.
This is huge for PYR. They're leading the charge when it comes to plasma tech. And this partnership with GE Vernova really gives them a chance to scale their operations and make a serious impact on reducing emissions in heavy industries.
Sure, and PYR's press release highlights that the partnership has a two-phase plan. The first phase will focus on implementing PYR's, their cutting-edge plasma torches at an existing iron ore facility. And then, get this, they're going to dive into a study for using these torches in aluminum smelter casthouses. And PYR is quoting, ready for this? Reducing greenhouse gas emissions while offering energy efficiency and cost savings. It really sounds like a win-win all around.
Absolutely. This is a perfect example of how a smaller company, a small cap company, can really step up and create change in a major industry.
I love it. Next up on the breaking news agenda, we've got GUS, Angus Gold Inc., trading on the TSX as GUS. And they are announcing they've hit the jackpot. Literally, they've more than doubled the strike length of a high-grade gold zone at their Golden Sky project in Wawa, Ontario. And we're talking about a region, folks, with a proven track record of gold production.
That's right. GUS is really focusing their efforts on the Mishibishu Lake Greenstone Belt, which is, prime spot for exploration. And this latest discovery really just confirms how promising this area is.
Couldn't agree more. And GUS is quoting some pretty eye-popping numbers in their press release. It hit a 3.5-meter intercept, grading a whopping 15.6 grams of gold per ton, including a truly remarkable section, grading 80.1 grams of gold per ton. It's clear they've hit a rich vein of gold here. What's your take on this discovery?
Well, what's really interesting to me is that this discovery really expands the known mineralized zone, which, potentially increases the whole value of the project. And it also, really underscores the exploration potential of the entire Dorset gold trend, where GUS is operating.
Fascinating. Now let's turn our attention to South America, where Iloro Resources, Ltd., listed on the TSXV as ELO, is making waves with their Isca Silver Project. And that's in Potosi, Bolivia. Now remember, folks, Bolivia has a long and storied history of silver production. And ELO is adding to that legacy with their latest announcement, a major expansion of the high-grade silver zone at Isca.
Yeah, the location of this project, the location alone makes it noteworthy, but then you add in ELO's track record, of delivering these high-grade silver results. It's clear this is a company to watch.
Absolutely. And the latest numbers from ELO are, they're stunning. They've intersected a massive 135 meters, grading 151.47 grams of silver per ton within a broader 309-meter zone, averaging 90.92 grams of silver per ton. and Elo is quoting, one of the best drill holes to date in the Santa Barbara breccia pipe. So I got to ask, what's your perspective on the significance of these results?
Well, these results are, they're game-changing. They don't just confirm the continuity of the high-grade mineralization. They really highlight the scale of this silver system.
It really does look like Elo is sitting on a potential silver bonanza. Wow. From gold to silver to clean tech. The small cap world is certainly living up to its reputation for delivering exciting developments.
Right.
But hold on, folks, because we got one more headline to cover before we wrap up this first segment. And this one is all about innovation in the gold exploration space.
This is what I love about the small cap market. There's always something new and unexpected. These companies are always pushing the boundaries, finding new and innovative ways to approach exploration.
Absolutely. And this time it's Goldcorp, trading on the CSE under ECA. They're making waves at their Montauban property in Quebec.
Yeah.
But not with some massive drill result. They're turning heads with their cutting-edge approach to exploration. ESA is deploying ambient noise tomography, or ANT, to map out the subsurface geology of their property.
This is fascinating. ANT is, it's a relatively new technique that allows companies to essentially see deeper into the earth without having to drill, as many exploratory holes. So it's a game changer, in terms of cost and environmental impact.
It really is. And ESA is quoting, utilizing innovative exploration techniques to maximize shareholder value. And they're putting their money where your mouth is, using revenue from their tailings reprocessing operations to fund this ANT survey. Now, this is all about exploring for deeper deposits, but ESR has already confirmed near-surface mineralization from historical data. And the grades are nothing to sneeze at. They're talking about gold, silver, and even base metals. Yeah. So what do you make of ESA's strategy?
It's smart. They're leveraging their existing assets to fund exploration that could lead to much bigger discoveries. And by using ANT, they're taking a more targeted approach. So they increase their chances of finding those deeper, high-grade zones.
We'll definitely keep an eye on ESA to see what they uncover. Okay, folks, that's a wrap for our first round of breaking news. Stay tuned for more exciting updates from the fast-paced world of small caps.
It's really fascinating to see how these companies, they're not just uncovering potential riches, but they're also, innovating in the way they do it,
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head. Take TOC Tocvan, for example. Yeah. I mean, those high-grade gold and silver intercepts, especially that 60.6 grams per ton hit. They're pretty impressive on their own. But what really got my attention is that they found it in an area that's, already known for mineral wealth.
Right. That's a key point. TOC is operating right in the heart of Sonora, Mexico, and it's a region, it has a really long history of successful gold and silver mining. So it really de-risks the project, you see, because it's not about proving the region has potential. It's more about TOC,
right,
homing in on those sweet spots.
Yeah, and when you consider that they're still in the early stages of exploration at El Pilar, it makes you wonder what else they might find.
Exactly. I mean, these early stage discoveries, they often just, scratch the surface of a much, much larger mineral system. And for investors, this is where the real excitement is, that potential for future growth as TOC keeps drilling.
For sure. All right, well, let's shift gears a bit from the treasure hunt for precious metals to something that kind of feels like it's straight out of a sci-fi movie. PYR PyroGenesis and their mission to, get this, electrify heavy industries.
It's, this partnership with GE Vernova, it's major validation for PYR's technology, for their vision. Yeah. It's one thing to develop a clean tech solution, but it's another thing entirely to get a global giant like GE on board.
Oh, totally. It really speaks volumes about the potential for their plasma torches to disrupt, these massive industries that have, historically been notorious polluters.
Yeah, and from an investor's perspective, this partnership opens up a whole world of opportunity for PYR. Think about the scale of the aluminum and steel markets. The potential for growth is huge.
Not to mention the growing pressure on industries to clean up their act. Governments, consumers, they're all demanding these sustainable solutions. And companies like PYR are in the perfect position to capitalize on that shift.
It's a perfect example, really, of how small cap companies can drive innovation and, really disrupt these established markets.
Totally. Now, I want to circle back to GUS Angus Gold for a second. We talked about that impressive gold intercept, right? But what does doubling the strike length actually mean for investors?
Well, it's all about potential, really. Strike length refers to, the horizontal extent of the mineralized zone, so doubling that length suggests there's a much larger deposit there than initially thought. And for investors, that translates to, a potentially bigger more valuable project.
So it's not just about those flashy gold grades. It's about the size of the prize they might be sitting on. I can definitely see why investors would be buzzing about this.
And, don't forget, GUS is working in a region that's already known for its gold. So this discovery really just adds to the idea that that whole Dorset gold trend could be, ripe with opportunity.
Okay, well, speaking of exciting regions, let's head back down to South America, where El Oro Resources is making its mark on the silver scene. We talked about those incredible silver grades, some of the best they've seen. But what really stands out to you about this project?
It's the potential, right? The potential for a truly massive high-grade silver deposit. Their latest drilling results, they point to a significant expansion of the known mineralized zone. And they're really just beginning to explore the full extent of this system.
And for investors, that means, well, huge upside potential.
Absolutely. Imagine uncovering a silver deposit of this size in a historic silver-producing region like Bolivia. It's the kind of discovery that can make a company's stock price, skyrocket.
No kidding. All right, let's zoom in on ESAU ES Gold and their innovative approach to exploration using ambient noise tomography. That's pretty unusual in the gold space, isn't it?
It is, yeah. Traditionally, companies rely heavily on drilling to map out the underground geology, but ANT it essentially lets them create this 3D image of the subsurface just by listening to the Earth's, natural vibrations. It's a game changer for exploration, especially when you're looking for those deep-seated deposits.
And it's not just about finding more gold, right? It's about finding it more efficiently and with less environmental impact.
That's a key point. Traditional drilling can be, it can be costly and disruptive. ANT offers a more sustainable and cost-effective way to explore, which is especially important for these smaller companies like ESU.
Yeah, it seems like they've got a really solid strategy in place, using that revenue from their tailings reprocessing to fund this cutting-edge exploration. It's a smart way to reduce their reliance on external funding and potentially deliver, better returns to investors.
And the fact that they've already confirmed near-surface mineralization, it adds another layer of intrigue to the story. They're essentially going for a double win here, unlocking the potential of those deeper deposits, but also generating cash flow from those existing resources.
It's a bold strategy for sure. It'll be interesting to see what they uncover.
Yeah, the small cap world is full of these David and Goliath stories. It's inspiring to see these smaller companies challenging the status quo, pushing the boundaries of what's possible.
Absolutely. They're often the ones leading the charge when it comes to innovation. And they're not afraid to take risks. And that's what makes them so exciting to follow.
And for investors who are willing to, to do their homework and embrace a little bit of risk, the rewards can be life-changing, really.
It's mind-blowing to think about the impact these companies could have, not just on the markets, but, on the industries they're operating in.
Yeah, you're right. Take TOC Tocvan, for example. If they keep hitting those kind of numbers, those high-grade gold and silver numbers at LPR, it could be a game changer for the local economy, in Sonora.
And on a global scale, right? PyroGenesis' partnership with GE Vernova. That has the potential to revolutionize how we approach heavy industry. They're literally rewriting the playbook on how to produce essential materials like steel and aluminum.
Yeah.
But in a way that's sustainable and responsible.
It's a good reminder, I think, that investing in small caps, it's not just about chasing profits, it's also about supporting these companies that are developing solutions to some of the world's most pressing challenges.
Yeah, I'm also really impressed by GUS Angus Gold's strategy. They're not just focused on one big score, right? They're systematically exploring that whole Dorset gold trend, which means they could uncover multiple deposits over time.
That's a key insight for investors, I think. A company with a strategic exploration plan like that, like GUS, they can offer a more sustainable path to growth rather than just relying on one single make-or-break discovery.
Totally. And then there's El Oro Resources. Seem to be. Sitting on a potential silver mountain down in Bolivia. This is a company that's, they've consistently delivered impressive drill results. And this latest discovery, it's their most exciting yet.
What's really remarkable about ELO is that they're operating in a region that's, it's already known for its silver production. So they're tapping into this rich history of mining. But they're doing it with modern tech. And a commitment to, responsible resource extraction.
Absolutely. As we wrap up this deep dive, Into the world of small cap breaking news, what's the one key takeaway you'd like to leave our listeners with?
I'd say, the small cap market it's dynamic, it's constantly evolving, it's a place where, groundbreaking discoveries, innovative technologies, and ambitious companies, they collide. And for those who are willing to, to take a closer look, it offers the potential for, incredible rewards.
It's like a treasure hunt, right? Where the biggest prizes often go to those who are willing to venture off the beaten path.
Exactly. So stay curious, do your research, and never underestimate the power of a small company with a big vision.
That's a great note to end on. Thanks for joining us today on this exciting journey through the world of small cap breaking news. And remember, the best way to stay ahead of the curve is to tune in to Agoracom Small Cap Breaking News, your daily source for the most compelling stories from the world's most innovative companies.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep an eye on those small caps. You never know what hidden gems you might uncover.